Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on the GX470 again. So this particular GX470 didn't come with a factory tow hitch right here, the one that bolts right to the bumper. So today we're going to be installing this tow hitch right here. This is the 5,000-pound tow hitch. It's not to be confused with the 6,500-pound tow hitch that actually is a full rack or rail that bolts to the frame. This one just bolts to the factory bumper and it goes right here where this cover is, and it actually uses a different cover, but we don't have that today. We're going to try to modify that, so stay tuned. What we need to do to put this thing on is actually take the rear bumper off. That's the easiest way. This actual panel stays on here, but there's like 4 blue clips that keeps it on, but some of the bolts are kind of hard to reach. You could attempt to take this cover off and just bolt it right on, but today I'm going to do it with the full bumper off method. That way we get in there and actually see what we're doing. To remove the rear bumper, we actually have to pop this thing off right here, remove this rail, kind of slide it over, take this black cover right here off. Is actually just clipped in right now, just using some pry tools. You could pop that out, and there's a bunch of 10 millimeters right under here that holds the top of the bumper right there. Then once we do that, underneath here there's several 10 millimeters that hold this thing to the frame, and some brackets down there that we need to get. We need to get this little clip right here. And on the sides we actually have to unbolt this hex down here that holds the mud flaps on. And then there's another screw right here, it's a 10 millimeter, and that pretty much takes the whole rear bumper off. Once you unbolt all those, you just snap it and pull the rear bumper off. So we'll go ahead and just time lapse all through that to take the rear bumper off. All right, we were able to get all the bolts on the underneath, took the mud flaps off right there, have all the hardware and everything right there, as you guys can see, as we took off everything. So now we're pretty much ready to pull this thing off. So you just basically, on both sides, it snaps in, you just snap it off. And on this side, once we took everything off, just go ahead and just pop this off on the side. Make sure we're clear of everything. Looks like the mud flap right here. You just gotta push that through, get the mud flap through there. Same with the other side, so I need to get something to pry that. Right there. Do the other side, and then the whole bumper just comes right off. Pop to both sides, so we just pull it straight back. Everything comes right off there. So here you can see the bumper off, and this thing is actually held on by these little blue clips right here on that cover, and it's got 2 little screw tab clips on the bottom, but the blue things are really what keep it in. So you're gonna make sure you take the bumper off. That's really the only way to remove that cover. All right, so right here you can see the 6 bolts that hold this factory piece right here. So this piece is actually designed for the 6,500-pound tow hitch. It goes underneath and it bolts up right here with the 4 bolts underneath. But our new one, we use these 4 right here and then 2 on the bottom. Just reuse the bolts, put the new one on, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. If you guys didn't know, this is the exact same tow hitch found on the 4Runner. So most of the 4Runners from like 2010 or something all the way up to current use the same exact tow hitch. To take it off, these are all 17 millimeters, so we'll just go ahead, use a ratchet to just break the bolt, and then we'll shoot it off with the impact after this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put it back on. I'm gonna go use some red thread lock to put the threads back on, just to make sure, because when you buy these things new, they actually have a little bit of thread locker already built into them. So we'll use some of this to get this thing on. So pretty much, you go back, everything lines up and it bolts up exactly where you found it, right there. So we'll go ahead, I'll just put one in just to hold for now. And then we'll go ahead and put the thread lock on all these other ones as we tighten them down. All right, we ended up getting this thing on there. I hand tightened it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get a torque wrench to torque these to about 72 foot-pounds. I believe that's what the spec is on these. So we got this thing set. Go ahead. Doing a crossing pattern. So in addition to putting the tow hitch on, I need to put this adapter on. So this car actually came from the factory with a 7-pin adapter, but we want to convert it to the 4-pin flat, which is more common on most trailers. So this thing's pretty much plug and play. It's like a $7 or $8 part from the dealer. So there it is right there for the factory one. So right there you can see the lid goes on, and there's actually a little tab on this Toyota one that catches that lip and it keeps this on. So it's pretty sturdy and it's gonna stay on right there. But yeah, the 4-pin is your standard right there. It's pretty much plug and play right there. You could, if you can't get this from the dealer, you could also get it from most RV or tow places. They sell it, it's about the same price. We'll go ahead, snap the bumper back on with that rear cover taken off, and then we'll figure out the rear cover after we get this thing on. So this rear cover, you used to be able to get it color matched to the car for like 50-something, $60, but they've actually discontinued it now. You can still get the black one to be painted, but the problem is they make 3 different versions of this. It's kind of a pain in the ass to figure out which part number is which and what fits. So I think the best solution for us here is to trim right over here, just around the hitch area, and then just reuse this one, because pretty much the one that has this hitch cutout is just the same bump like this, but with a little cutout right here. So I'm gonna just measure this thing and then just take a drill mole and actually just trim around it, and then maybe put some little rubber just to seal it up. But you see, that's all that really covers it up, and then we can just snap it in there. All right, so that's what I marked right there for this, right around where all the date code stuff is. I'm gonna go ahead and take some snips, see if I just cut it before I have to take out the drill mole. So I've got it trimmed to fit pretty well now. Bit ghetto, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean this up a little bit. Maybe put a little piece of rubber around there just to tuck it in there to make it look a little bit better, but it works and I don't have to buy a new cover. So I trimmed it up using a little piece of vacuum hose. I just slit down the middle. This thing fits perfectly and looks pretty much OEM on this piece. I'm gonna go ahead and just super glue it down so it doesn't pop out, but pretty much once you put it in there, the pressure from the actual hitch keeps this thing on. So that thing's looks pretty legit if you ask me. So we got this thing put all back together, installed, and that looks pretty dang good right there. It looks pretty much OEM with that cutout that I did. So we're pretty much done here. Got the plug and everything all ready to go. So this is pretty good for what we need for this. Pretty simple install. I think that thing was like 125 bucks off of eBay. If you guys need that same one, check out the links down in the description for that same part that I ordered. Hey guys, thanks for joining me all the way to the end of this video on doing this quick install and showing you how to remove this bumper. If you guys found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to your channel, go ahead and subscribe to your channel, turn on bell notifications to stay on top of all my different DIY videos. Remember, for all these different projects, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.